So, Steve
Armstrong with HP. This is the latest product. It's the HP Engage 1 Pro Generation 2. So I'd like to walk you through a few of the enhancements over the previous platform and show you some of the connection options that we have to support your retail environment. So the big enhancement with this product has been feedback that some of our customers would like to have a lower angle for shorter operators. So we've improved the hinge design to now allow us to lower it from a 40 degree down to a 12 degree, allowing operators who are shorter to have better access and also avoid overhead lighting interfering with the display. On the back,
one thing I've always noticed with these is that very stable when you push on.
The stands are very stable, and it can also be mounted into the counter as well.
Right. We've sold some of those clean countertop mounts as well, and
they're
great.
Very popular because it gives more shelf space for people to put out product, folding clothing items, or presenting different options to the customer, whether it's jewelry, whether it's cannabis samples, things of that nature. The other big request from our customers from the Generation 1 product was the fact that they would like to interact more with the customer. So what we facilitated with this new hinge design is not only better ergonomics for people who are of lower stature, but also the ability to rotate the display over the top,
Beautiful.
Invert the image, and now allow interaction with the customer. In addition to inverting the display, you'll notice that at the top, we had an NFC. So the NFC reader could allow the employees to use an NFC badge for login, expediting the login process or changing operators on the register more quickly than entering in a passcode.
Or if they talk to our friends over at Felix Payments, they could actually do payments on that NFC.
And so that is the thing that you just touched on. When you flip this over, you'll notice it's at the top when it's on the operator side. When I flip it down towards, it's at the bottom. So it's very convenient to do contactless payment. In Canada, that limit could be set by the card brand, so it may be $250 or $400. So it may not be ideal for Canadian customers, but in the US, because the PIN number on yours is held by the provider and not on the card, there's no issue with a floor limit and using contactless in the United States enabled by Felix Pay.
That's great.
Excellent point.
That's great.
Besides being flexible in terms of its ability to interact with the customer, we also like to offer customers a variety of options by which they can connect their peripherals. The big difference between the Engage 1 Pro Gen 1 and Gen 2 was the fact that we have basically gone from an RP9 where all the connections were a part of the head, so you had a single unit and you chose your stand. With this, compute and connect have been segregated and are connected by a USB-C cable. So when it comes to installations, you could mount this on a pole and have a single USB-C cable going down to what we call an advanced hub.
Right.
This advanced hub provides you with legacy ports like serial, 4 standard USBs for keyboards, mice, other peripherals, powered USB to support your powered scanners, your pin pads, and your printer. We also, for legacy software companies that do not kick their cash drawer from the printer, we can kick it directly from this unit. In addition, these connectors for power to the display have a screw-in locking connector, so we're not going to have this being displaced. In addition, should you want a 10, 14, or 16-inch external display, this will allow you to connect power, video, and touch. And I know, I used to work in operations. When you had to do installations, you used to have to pull up a video cable, a power cable, as well as a touch cable. So there was a 3 combo. Now, single cable facilitates.
That's a great solution. I really like the Advanced Hub because it offers so many I/O options. Column Hub's nice. It's great. It's really clean. But it's a little cramped in there once in a while.
100%. But if you're a hospitality,
yeah, you want it clean, and you're not going to have a lot.
You're going to have a printer.
Yeah.
You might have a keyboard.
Right.
So the nice thing with this is you also have the serial for legacy. Some people have legacy weight scales. They don't want to invest $2,000 to get something that's not compatible.
Right.
So legacy investment protection. So going to the column hub, the nice thing is, as its name kind of indicates, is it's in the column. In the old days with the Gen 1 product, there was a screw. So some people would lose their Torx T15. And so what we've done to simplify is we've basically made it so that you can push in, lift
Beautiful.
up, pops out,
Love
accessing the column hub. So again, 12 volt powered USB for your pin pad.
Yep.
24-volt powered USB for your printer, and if I'm doing hospitality, I pretty much
You're good
done.
to go.
If I did need a barcode scanner for loyalty, we also have these ports called bento boxes, like the Japanese meals.
Yep.
These 4 ports are USB 2.0. They can support a barcode scanner. You can support an indicator light if you were using it for self-checkout. We also have medical applications where they have secure RFID readers that can be put into these units to facilitate that type of operation as
I
well.
think your MagStripe readers go into here too for
The MagStripe
right?
reader is on the right-hand side.
Oh, it's on the right-hand side.
So if you're
okay.
using that for the operator, or if you're using it, and the nice thing is, it's integrated inside, so it doesn't increase the form factor. So we've had customers who've had MagStripe readers, operator-facing cameras, as well as barcode scanners. Running the 18-inch unit with that, they basically can now put a 19.5 in, same peripheral capability, but an even smaller form factor because of the thinner bezel and because of the integrated. So on the left-hand side, you see a fingerprint reader.
Yes.
So if you'd like to use that as a method of authentication, you could use your fingerprint. The cameras are enabled with Microsoft Hello. And in addition, we've already discussed the NFC.
Right.
On the old device, it was on the back. On the new device, it's on the front to facilitate that payment option we discussed earlier. So in addition to those hubs, we also offer 2 other options. One would be called the Pro VESA. So the Pro VESA takes exactly the same connections that we had on the column, puts it in a square module that basically mounts on the back. So we
Right.
would remove the 2 screws, we would remove this from this, that would mount onto, and now you would have a rectangular VESA 100 that you could VESA mount on 4 screws and give you the connectivity on the back. So for in-place locations where you're doing maybe convenience, maybe you're gas, maybe you're doing liquor and you have existing infrastructure you've expended a significant amount of money on, you want to protect that investment, you can do that. You might say, well, Steve, I don't want all those connections because they're kind of ugly on the top of my store and I just spent a lot of money remodeling to give myself a nice look. So what we do have, which unfortunately is not on display here, is called a Slim VESA plate. So what you would have here is a plate that's about a 1/2 inch thick. We would take that USB-C cable we talked about into that. We could mount that on whatever stand you would like. And then we have a 2-meter cable or 6 feet cable that could go down underneath the counter where you would then attach to this. The power supply would connect, the USB-C, and we could place this under the counter. And in some cases, it helps both aesthetically because now you have a nice, clean aesthetic with the counter. And as you mentioned before, with the clean counter mounts, one of the nice things is we remove the stability plate, we drill a 3 7/8 inch hole, we can set this in, and there's a locking collar on the bottom that allows you to secure this, giving you a flat level surface for either exhibiting merchandise, for folding garments, or whatever the case may be.
Really nice and clean.
So with this, under the counter, out of sight is out of mind, and also out of harm's way, because I have had numerous situations in the old days where small children would walk by the back of the POS and there'd be a cable and they might just give it a tug. So if this is under the counter, A, it's not going to have those types of accidental issues, and B, we also have another issue whereby employees might want to charge their cell phone.
That's great. And I know Havas has a kiosk stand now that specifically was built with this hub in mind.
We actually have that over on the other side.
Yeah, okay.
We could just pop over there real quick.
That's great.
All right. I may have to borrow it off. It's been very busy at the NRF, so
Yeah, no
unfortunately
kidding.
sometimes
The
access.
booth has been very busy.
Excuse me. I just need to borrow one. Thank you very much. So this is the stand that we were speaking about. So it offers a very low profile aspect. So the nice thing is you're not creating a barrier between you and the customer, because obviously POS is essential, but it doesn't add to the transaction. You're really trying to obviously interface with your customer. So by keeping it low, it allows you to keep line of sight. It also gives you a good variety of angles in terms of operation, but we do have the option below to basically put that hub inside and obviously reduce the form factor. So this has been very popular with fast food. It's also in some of the Nike stores in Canada. They like this because of the low profile as well.
That's great.
And so we do have a very close working relationship with Havas.
Right.
If there's something that doesn't exist as a productized version, we can often have something engineered, and after customers obviously use the product, we can productize it if we see additional use cases within the market.
We appreciate it. I was wondering, can we just, there's one other stand over there that we haven't looked at.
By all means.
If we could just take a look at that, I would greatly appreciate that. It looks like there's somebody else looking at it, maybe we'll just kind of piggyback on them looking at it. But that's the advanced hub. What stand is that?
That stand, that stand is just called a advanced stand.
The advanced stand.
The advanced stand with a stability hub and attached hub.
That's it.
So if you were ordering it for the remote environment, we would just say advanced stand, stability plate, and drop-in box hub. So this way they don't attach it, they just have it segregated, so it would come with a 2-meter cable instead of the half-meter cable.
Got it, okay.
So
and that one's got the 10-inch customer display on
correct.
it as well.
And so with the 10-inch customer display, the nice thing is it's adjustable, so depending upon the angle, so with lighting or height,
or anything like that,
you can adjust it both up and down. There are future enhancements that are going to be incorporated, so options for things like scanners, so for loyalty. Also, again, we talked about Felix, there will be a payment option that will be released in another year that will allow you to facilitate both loyalty and the ability to do payments on the customer-facing display. We also offer, in addition to the 10-inch, we also offer a 14-inch, 16-inch, so if you do need something that's a little larger, we can also integrate both a 2x20, if that's an economical solution they're looking for, or a 6.6-inch with full video
which
and
you've got
touch.
over there.
Correct.
And that plugs right into the top with a USB. Correct?
Right into the bento box.
Correct.
So when they did the design for the product, they incorporated those bento box or those USB ports because we don't know what the future holds. So whether it's an indicator light for self-checkout, which we developed after the product was introduced, if it was an RFID reader that people were looking for in a medical case because they have secure medical RFID badges they use. So we're able to expose that port, provide a connection, and now they can log on. So again, it's all about the customer. If we can help the customer by making modifications, and especially by providing a future-proof platform that allows us to put things in after the fact, it really does help, with the investment protection and evergreen.
I love the products. They're great. They're once you kind of understand how to speak HP and you can kind of learn your way through the products.
We're always there to help. We're happy to translate business needs, and we'll come up with a product recommendation. So you don't need to know our part numbers, you don't need to know our product names, but the reality is the product was renamed Engage because we want customers to be able to engage with the people who are using our equipment. So whether it's an Engage Go mobile tablet, an Engage Flex, an Engage Mini, or an Engage One Pro, it's all about engaging with the customer.
Right. Well, we love the products. We love your service plan.
100. What that? You know what?
Next business day on site for not only for the
3-year
terminal,
standard.
3-year standard.
2-year optional extension.
Correct.
Advanced replacement of peripherals with new peripherals. Not refurb, not remarketed, it's always new. So a lot of customers, that becomes their key point because they've got a safety net. If they do need an escalated level of support, obviously between HP or our partners, we can offer solutions with same day, 4-hour, next day, whatever the customers require. But we always want to make sure that our customers have a safety net with that next business day on-site support.
Yeah, customers love it. It's great. It makes, for me, saying, well, if you need a cash drawer, you need a printer, you need a scanner, buy it all together.
Bundle it.
Get that warranty because it's the best in the industry. It makes things easy. You're already getting the best terminal in the market, so you might as well go and
we call it
those peripherals.
Peace of mind retailing.
Exactly.
Provide our customers with a safety net, but we're always willing, obviously, to discuss support requirements. We have a broad network of partners, as you well know.
Yes.
And obviously, our business is very partner-centric. We work with, I live in Canada, so 90% of the business I do is in Canada is through partners, and there are obviously some global corporates who want to, work directly with HP, which I can count on less than 2 hands. But other than that, our go-to-market strategy is very partner-centric.
Well, we appreciate the partnership, and your team here in the U.S. doing a good job for us. So
I appreciate you dropping by.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.
If you'd like more information or pricing, please send us an email at info@SpartanPOS.com or shop online at SpartanPOS.com and use code YT20 to take $20 off your first order. Please like and subscribe.